It's the Sean Steele show. It's rivalry week. There's tons of games that we want to go over, but we're going to keep this one separate because it's so near and dear to our hearts. It's the game, Ohio State versus the team up north. Sorry if we get a little fucking crazy during this because we're both just so passionate about this fucking game. Bryson, just what are your first thoughts whenever you hear the game?
Yeah, I mean it's like our life. When we were at Ohio State wasn't our life. Beating the team up north was our life. So it's everything to Ohio State fans. It's everything to Ohio State players and alumni. It couldn't be any bigger. It's the biggest game anywhere in the world, and I'm pumped that it's here. Steele, when did this all get started? What's the history? I know you're an encyclopedia, geez, but what's the history with this thing, man?
Yeah, God. So this whole rivalry started back in 1835. It was the War of Toledo. So state up north and then Ohio, they were battling over the Toledo Strip. It was just a land that was kind of separating them, good for agriculture and some other stuff. I'm just gonna call it Michigan. Fuck it. They ended up ceding that entire area to Ohio in exchange for some other stuff, and then the peninsula they have up there. Then fast forward a few years later, 1997, I believe, that's whenever they had their first game, and that kind of all that tension that was building up for decades just kind of culminated into these two universities finally playing against each other. Now, fast forward 128 years later, I mean, it's the biggest rivalry in basically the entire world. I put it up there with the US and Russia during the whole Rocky era.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of shit. It's damn near 200 years of just feuding, just all leading up to a game on Saturday. That's exactly what it is. It's just a bunch of wild shit.
No, and what makes the game so great is it's all about tradition, like
Hmm.
when we were at Ohio State, we're taking the bus up there. We're wearing the scout team's putting on the up north uniform, the up north helmet. We're putting the stuff on the floor. We're stomping on them. I mean, you're crossing out the M's. It's just tradition is what it's all about. Steele, what was your favorite tradition when we were playing?
God, it's hard to really lock in on one. I mean, I think the fact that all everywhere on campus people are crossing out M's, I think that's pretty fucking sweet. I don't see many other colleges doing that for their rivalry games. You
No.
got that. You've got everything that's going on in the Woody from, like you said, the jerseys on the ground. You got the clock just showing how much time until kickoff. God, honestly, I'd probably say the bus ride just because it's a weird feeling that 3 hour bus ride compared to every other game where you're flying.
Yeah.
It's just time to really kind of just to hone in on everything you've been going over all week and just focus up for the absolute war that's coming up about 24 hours from that bus ride.
Yeah. Now, did you hear they're flying this year?
They're flying.
They're flying this year.
It. Do you know why?
I don't know why. I know they're flying though. I'm 98
That's
point
like such a.
75% sure they're flying.
I mean, maybe they want to change it up a bit. I
So,
don't
so
know. I'm
let's
pretty sure
look
that's a tradition that's been going on for a while.
for forever. But that brings me to kind of my next point I want to talk about is one thing that I love Coach Day, and he's done a great job. But one thing that did kind of rub me the wrong way is, Coach Meyer just won all those games in a row against up north. Coach Day won his first game. COVID, we don't play him. 2021, we lose. And it feels like Coach Day kind of panic, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe you can correct me. But he changed pretty much all the traditions. He changed his time for war, and he changed a lot of other stuff, because I transferred out. So you can hit on that. What are your thoughts on all that?
It's hard because he's in a weird position where he's kind of struggling deciding how to approach this game. Some years, I'm pretty sure the year you were there, he kind of didn't try to diminish the rivalry, but try to treat it like a regular game, like, oh, it's like playing Rutgers, just go out there, do your thing. But at
Yeah,
the same time, you got to respect it because it's the game. And then the years following, he almost elevated it too much, where guys are playing with freaking puckered up assholes and they're stressed out to go in the
yeah,
game. They're making mistakes they don't normally use. So between changing all these songs and changing some tradition. He's just trying to balance kind of how you approach this game at what like he wants guys to play their kind of ball, play the ball they've been playing all year, and that's been winning them all these games, but at the same time, still respect what this rivalry is. So
Yeah.
it's a hard balance he's trying to find right now.
Yeah, but it does seem like, just kind of on the outside looking in, and obviously we can talk to some of these guys after, but it does seem like he's kind of found – now he hasn't won in a while, but it does seem like going into this one, he seems comfortable. Just kind of watch him in his press conferences. The team seems like they're in a very confident state, not worried about it. So I do feel like, he's been emphasizing it, but not overemphasizing it. I feel like through the losses and the failures, he's kind of learned, and I really do think we're going to see the best version of the Buckeyes on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been scarred up. He's been getting his ass chewed out for the last 4 times that they played him, especially last year. I mean,
Yeah.
even though they won that national championship, you've got psychopath Ohio State fans that are saying, "Oh, I'd rather beat the team up north." That's kind of ludicrous to me. I mean,
Yeah.
of course you want to beat the team up north, but you still got a fucking natty. I mean, come on
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Now
But
I will say, and this drives from the Ohio State fans being so freaking crazy. I think Coach Day would maybe trade in that national championship for a win against Up North in the Big Ten championship. What do you think?
no, no.
I
Okay,
don't know,
don't
man.
get me wrong. Again, we've said it like 10 times already. It's the biggest rivalry in all of sports, but you won the national championship. Like, yeah, the 3 goals every single year at Ohio State: beat the team up north, win the Big Ten championship, win a national championship. As much as those first 2 matter, as much as that first one matters, especially, the end goal of every single year is to win the natty. So it kind of makes no sense to trade that for a team up north one.
Yeah, I mean, you just know
I,
how those fans are up north. There's some tough fans, and they've been
yeah.
talking a lot of trash. Like, it doesn't matter that you won the Natty. The year we won the Natty, we beat you guys, won the Big Ten full sweep. So I know Coach Day wants that full sweep this year.
Oh, I know.
But
Yeah.
let's talk about some of our playing days. 2019 or 2019.
Hmm.
That's one of the gutsiest performances I've ever seen. We go up there, Justin Fields gets bad hit in his knee, goes into the tent, comes back out, and the next drive he's in the game. He throws a bomb to Garrett Wilson, and we get a
Hmm.
big time win. Jordan Fuller on the defense, lighting people up. Jeff Okuda. I mean, that 2019 team was very, very fun. And Justin
Hmm.
Fields, he solidified himself to me as the ultimate leader and one of the just gutsiest, toughest performances I've ever seen. What do you remember from that game?
Yeah, well, first off, don't forget about our boy Chris Chugginoff. Came
Oh,
in
yeah,
backup
nice.
quarterback, just holding it
Chugs.
down. Yeah, holding it down while Justin's hurt. But I mean, yeah, him coming in after that injury, very next play, throwing a dot to Garrett for a touchdown. That's just one of those moments that kind of every single year there's 1 or 2 moments that really solidify like this game as one of the biggest sporting events in the like of all time, really, in my
Yeah,
opinion. And it just contributes to that because you've got everything from the Snow Bowl back in 1950, the 10-year war
yeah,
with Woody Hayes back in the 60s and 70s, and then you've got that moment with Justin. It just kind of shows how every single year the game builds more and more and more. And then now, after 128 years, we're at this moment where it's still the biggest game ever to be played because it's the next one.
yeah,
So that 2019 game, that was big, especially because that's our only win against them. But
right.
yeah, I mean, truly one of the gutsiest performances I've seen out of Justin right there.
Yeah. And then we get to 2020. They're having a rough year. Jim Harbaugh is on the hot seat, and we're hearing rumors that they're going to pull out of the game because of COVID. They pull out of the game. Now, you had a buddy over there, right? Up north?
Yeah, Chris Hinton.
Was that COVID legit, or what was the deal with that?
Yeah, he was texting me a couple days before saying, "Dude, I don't know if we're gonna be able to play you guys."
Yeah, I actually do think I remember you saying that. So I mean,
Hmm.
we'll play that year. I still think it's BS, but it is what it is. We head into 2021, and it's a big time game, probably the biggest one. That was 2019 was big, but 2022 was huge because we were both ranked in the top 5. Winners going to the Big Ten championship. I mean, everything was on the line. Everything was on the
Hmm.
line. And Steele Chambers, this is a fact of the matter, bro. We were deathly ill for that game.
We talk about 2021.
2021. Yeah, sorry, 2021.
Yeah, that was bad, but no excuses. But I mean, I
No,
know
no, no excuses. They whooped your ass, but
me and Tommy almost got sent home.
dude, I
Very
remember.
di-
And then I remember because remember we all went to Thanksgiving and then we all started feeling like shit. Then you two got it really bad, and then I got sick in the middle of the night and called my parents. I'm like, I'm sick as fuck. So we were all sick, and then we went out there. But I always say this. It could have been. Now I know you were a lot deathly or more deathly ill than me, but to me, once I stepped in that stadium and that atmosphere and that energy, I was ready to roll, man. I was ready to roll.
I mean, I was ready to roll, but I was just also about to die.
Yeah, you're also
I mean,
about to die.
but like I will say, like I almost was able to block out all the outside noise just because I was trying to make my body work.
Exactly.
It was refusing to work, but
Exactly.
yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, we came out of Grandma Stover's Thursday. Not great. Not great.
Maybe she put something in the ham. I don't know.
No, we that was some good stuff over there. But
Mhm.
anyway, I get my first career pick. Good moment. Thought I was going to be a legend after that, but we lose. They run the ball down our throat. Uh, and then Steele, you let them score. What's the deal with that, man?
All right, I can't tell you how many death threats and shit I got after that play. So there's about 4 minutes left in the game. They're up by one score. The situation is we need to get the ball back in order to have time to have two drives and score twice. So we call what we call freeway. That means you let the players score. You let
Yeah,
them score so you have extra time for your own offense. And from the back view, it looks like I basically hide behind my buddy Cody Simon and let him waltz into the end zone because I was scared.
yeah.
No, that is the play. You let them score. So I was escorting him into the end zone.
You're just doing your job, man.
I was doing my job, and I can't. I got so much fucking shit for it.
So
It was
you weren't
bad.
scared of Hassan Haskins? He
No,
didn't
damn it!
post
I had to let
goal
him
on you?
score. I
Man,
had to let him score. Damn it!
that was a long, sad, cold, miserable bus ride home. Let me tell you that. We go on to win the Rose Bowl after that, and then 2022. Steele, what was the vibe like going into 2022, man? That
We
game.
felt confident. That was one of the years where the game was kind of put on a pedestal, and people were realizing like how important it was because it was the first time we had lost that game in God, like pretty much a decade.
Yeah.
And for the most part, we played really well. And then in the second half, they just had so many explosive plays on us
Yeah, it
on
was like two or three
defense.
explosives that kind of got you guys.
I remember there was the one we called Angels and all out cover zero blitz. They had like a 70-yard bomb on that. No, not a bomb. It was a screen missed tackle and then ran for like 60 yards. And then two back to back, like 80-yard runs from Donovan Edwards. And all of a sudden, a game that we thought we were dominating, somehow we're down. And
Yeah.
then, uh, I mean, shit kept happening. And then we ended up losing that one.
And then what was the vibe? Obviously, it's miserable. I didn't even bother to call or text you guys because I knew it was bad. But kind of, what was the fan like? That was at home. What was that like? Like just
Between it being at home and then the fact that we felt outside of 4 or 5 plays, like we completely won that game. It was complete and utter shock in the locker room. Like people just, we had no idea what to do with ourselves. The year before, we got beat. We understood that. The
yeah,
year after, it was almost the same thing. Like we didn't play our best ball, but that 2022 year, on defense, outside of a couple plays, I mean, we were shutting them down for the most part. Our offense was hidden pretty well, and then looked up at the scoreboard and they had more points than us.
yeah. It's interesting because when you look at the game, it seems like, and you brought this up, it's one of those rivalry games where it's not like it goes back and forth every year. It seems like there's like
No,
phases, like Ohio State going 6, 8 game win streak, 8 year win streak. Then up north goes on a 4. It's just kind of like one team gets the advantage of recruiting, or whatever it is, advantage, figures it out a little bit, and they win a kind of a streak, and then the next kind of gets on top, figures it out, and they get a little streak. And yeah, when I look at this upcoming Saturday, I really do feel that that this is the year that it comes back to Columbus, and Ohio State kind of goes on a nice little run from here on out. I do think that in today's day and age, Ohio State is a better program, and I don't think I'm a homer saying that. And I think they show that this weekend. Steele, what are your thoughts when you look at this game on kind of the broad scale?
Yeah, I mean, first, back to what you're saying about just the streakiness of it. I mean, you kind of look at the history of it. Eddie George, I don't think he won a single game against them, and that's one of the
Yeah.
best Ohio State players of all time. James Laurinaitis, I talked to him about it. He only had, I think, one win against them, and then, of course, Urban Meyer had his run. Coach Day having his run, but in the opposite direction on the
Yeah.
losing side of it. So there's been Ohio State greats that have come in and out of that facility that have not had a lot of success against them. So it kind of just shows how hard it
Exactly.
is to win these kind of games. And for the people that are frustrated about it, just have to understand Ohio State went on an 8 game win streak against them. Right now, we're on a 4 game losing streak, so it could be a lot worse. And
Yeah,
hopefully we
double.
change that this Saturday. But yeah, it shows how streaky this entire game is. But
Exactly.
yeah, this upcoming game, I mean, are we going to get into the actual game now, and
Let's
not
get
just the
into the
history?
actual game. Yeah, dive into the game, brother.
All right. I mean, I've got a game plan I'll share a little later, but couple things as far as injuries. That's one thing a lot of Ohio State fans are worried about because Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, they've been banged up the last couple weeks, and then Lorenzo. I don't want to say anything that I don't know 100% yet, but it looks like he's going to be out. And then of course Michigan, they've got their injuries with Jordan Marshall. He's likely to play. He's likely
Yeah.
to play even if he's got if he has a chewed up leg or whatever. I don't know, but
Yeah.
everyone's going to be playing in this game if they're able to because
I
it's
think
that
you're
big. And I don't know, it's going to be in Ann Arbor, going to be snowing, an absolute classic Big Ten matchup. So I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on it, man? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of
So
stuff that goes
so
into
there's
this
a couple
game.
of reasons I feel really confident. First off, usually when you have a quarterback making his first start in the game, or
Hmm.
making, you'd be a little concerned. But Julian Saint has really showed me throughout this year that he is ready for the big stages. He is ready for the big lights. And that first game of the year against Texas. Now Texas hasn't turned out to be quite the team we thought they were, but that stage, you remember how hyped up that game was at the beginning of the year? I mean, those were all eyes on that, and he
Oh
played
yeah.
really well. I thought he looked very calm, composed, and he's only gotten better and more. Caden Curry and Bennett Christian told us he's developed into more of a leader as well. So I feel fully
Hmm.
confident in him. And then next, when you look at the last couple of weeks, they're playing Rutgers, they're playing UCLA. I've loved. They've been struggling a little bit early in the season with the run game. They got young running backs, whatever it may be. And I loved how they've getting Peoples and Bo Jackson going against Rutgers and UCLA, really trying to fix their flaws. And you could just see them preparing, using these games to prepare for this one. And that's why I feel really, really confident that we're going to be just fine against up north this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there's a clear game plan as far as how to win this game, and Coach Mick presents it to the team every single year. And the years that we hit all those checkpoints that he gives us, we usually win. And then the years
Exactly.
that we don't, we usually don't. And I mean, it's pretty clear and cut. And then I've got my own little plan that I think will work out just looking at the stats from the last 4 years.
All
I mean,
right.
so first, yeah, I'll get into it now.
Steel
First of
Chambers,
all, like
Steel
he always
Chambers
says,
playing to win. Steel Chambers playing to win. Let's
yeah.
hear it. Steel
So
Chambers is playing to
so yeah,
win.
so number one, it's just you got to stop the run because this Michigan team, their bread and butter and their identity is the run game. I'm pretty sure every single game this year they've had maybe every single one except USC, they've had at least one
Right.
guy with over 100 rush yards. So you go in there, you stop the run. They're going to continue to try and just force it down your throat because that's who they are. And then they're going to have some play action passes. They're going to try to get Bryce Underwood going on the ground a little bit, probably some plays you haven't seen yet. So you got to be gap sound. You just got to be on your assignments at all times. Stop the run. Second, you've got to do good in third downs and then the turnover battle. I know usually in 2022 and 2023 we lost both of those games. And we also lost the turnover battle 2-0 in both of those. 2021 we lost, but you had your pick, so we kind of won that. And then 2023 we also won the turnover battle, but that was just a fucking I don't know what the hell that was. So win the turnover battle, do good on third downs, and then just control the emotions of the game because Ann Arbor's going to be rocking. You got to just kind of control yourself through all the ebbs and flows that are going to happen throughout the game because they're going to make plays. You're going to make plays, and you just kind of have to steady that ship throughout all of that because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and your emotions have to be in check where you're not getting some silly penalties like, I don't know, like roughing the passer or an unnecessary roughness. And I think if you're able to do all three of those things and then just play your style of ball, Julian's saying, be very smart with the ball. Don't make any silly throws because I mean, they usually end up getting a huge interception here and there that changes the entire game. So if you can eliminate that, and then for Bryce Underwood, an inexperienced quarterback, you throw disguises at him, hopefully get a big time turnover that flips the entire game on its head, then I can see Ohio State going in there and winning pretty convincingly if they can do all that.
Yeah, no, those are great. And two kind of key points that you hit on, and I also want to kind of expand on it and bring up is one, the emotions. In these games, you got to keep your emotions in check. A lot of young guys out there, both sides really. It's going to come down, and up north, they thrive on creating that chaos because I feel like the last couple of years, even though they've had the better end of us, we're still have the better team and the better talent, in my opinion. And I don't think many people would disagree. But then up north kind of causes that mental chaos. They ride on the emotions, and that's where we slip up and kind of play down to their style, and that's when they get us. So we got to master our emotions and just being like assassins, killers out there. And I think that team's got an Ohio State team. Julian saying he's a killer. Jeremiah Smith, he's a killer. Downs is like the personalities are killer type personalities. So another reason I'm confident. And then second, you mentioned this, the battle of field position. When you look at Ohio State's defense, there's no way up north is going to be able to drive the field against them. There's no – so pin them deep when you get the chance. Make them earn everything. Top down, which I know they'll do. Get after them, but make them drive the field because there's no way they're going to be able to do that, drive after drive after drive. So battlefield position, make them drive the field, and then controlling the emotions would be my keys to victory for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's of course there's going to be so many unknown factors going into this. Of course, you can draw up any sort of game plan you want. Something unknown is going to happen throughout the game, and you just got to somehow deal with it, sort of just make a reminder of it, and eventually push forward and forget that in the back of your head. So I'm excited for it. I'm after
Yeah.
last year, I have no idea what's going to happen in these games. I always feel like Ohio State should fucking pull it out, but then some bullshit happens. So
Yeah.
I hope they finally pull it out this year because they obviously have the better team, and it's like that's not unknown. I mean, I don't know, man. This is such a hard game to kind of.
I know we can say go out there and play their game, but we know how tough that is. So there's nothing a whole lot we can say. We just got to hope they show up and it goes our way and they give it everything they got, which I know they're going to do that. I'm going to say 27-13 is my score prediction, Buckeyes.
I'm going to go 28-10, Buckeyes.
All right, 28-10. Okay, so that's our up north. Steele, you got anything else you want to say about this up north?
That's all I got to say, man. Fuck them.
All right, fuck them. I'm with you. All right, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, yep.
See ya. All right, that